What's up everybody, my name is Carl, and today we are back with another best sounding car video. I'm going to talk to you about what I think are 5 of the best sounding 10-cylinder engined cars. We have now moved up 2 extra cylinders and have gone more exclusive and special. The 10-cylinder engine is found in more premium cars, mostly supercar territory, with the odd chance it's found in something less exotic, like in an executive saloon / sedan. Just like the previous videos, I'll be picking just 5, but I am of course aware that there are many great sounding 10-cylinder engine cars, and therefore this series will be in parts. So if I haven't mentioned a particular car, there's a chance it will be mentioned in a future video. If you want to participate, feel free to comment down below what you think are 5 of the best sounding 10-cylinder engine cars. With that out of the way, let's begin, starting with my first choice of a great sounding 10-cylinder engine car, which goes to the Audi C6 RS6. On the subject of the odd chance you'll find a V10 in something that's a non-supercar, this is one of those very examples. I guess you could say that this is a great example of a sleeper car. Certainly in estate form, you'll definitely give those vibes off. On top of that, you'll get a pretty great noise out of it too. The RS6 has a 5-litre twin turbocharged V10 engine that produces 572 brake horsepower. This allows the car to go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.6 seconds before reaching a limited top speed of 155 miles per hour. According to Audi test pilots, this thing delimited could allegedly hit 200 miles per hour. This is a rocket ship. The sound of this car is so guttural. It has a low end bark to it. I think the turbochargers are the reason for this. It sounds like it's ready to fight. I just love how Audi decided to put a Lamborghini V10 in this family car and was like, beat that BMW, beat that Mercedes. Moving on to the next best sounding 10-cylinder engine car, and that goes to the Dodge Viper SRT 10. I don't think this list would be complete without mentioning this car, because effectively it's one of the very first 10-cylinder engine cars ever sold. The SRT 10 is the 3rd generation of this car, and it certainly hasn't lost its edge or noise. The Viper SRT 10 has an 8.3 litre naturally aspirated 10-cylinder engine that makes 500 brake horsepower. This takes the car from 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds and then onto a top speed of 190 miles per hour. This car has such a brash noise to it. It's more in the same vein as the Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG. Like the Merc, it certainly shares that muscular tone, albeit with 2 extra cylinders. Certainly a car with a historical and massive engine. Moving on to the next best sounding 10-cylinder engine car, and that goes to the GTA Spano. I have to say, amongst the cars I've covered throughout this series, I feel as if the GTA Spano is one of the most overlooked and underrated cars. It looks absolutely striking, and it also sounds absolutely fantastic too. The GTA Spano has an 8.3 litre supercharged V10 engine that generates over 821 brake horsepower. This allows the car to go from 0 to 60 in just 2.9 seconds before reaching a top speed of 217 miles per hour. Shimano effectively uses the Dodge Viper engine, but this sounds way more blown out and metallic. It sounds sinister and angry, like a killer bee. Sounds deadly. Sounds amazing. Moving on to the next best sounding 10-cylinder engined car, and that goes to the Mark I Lamborghini Gallardo Superleggera. When Audi bought Lamborghini in the late 90s, people were probably expecting the Gallardo to be less soulful and more German in nature. But the Mark I Superleggera is a shouting, raging bull that has a lot of personality. The Lamborghini Gallardo Superleggera has a 5-litre naturally aspirated V10 engine that produces 522 brake horsepower. This takes the car from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.8 seconds and onto a top speed of 196 miles per hour. This car sounds absolutely insane. That 5-litre V10 just screams, especially with that high-pitched howl it makes at high speeds and high in the rev range. Sounds like a race car. I certainly prefer the engine noise of this version of the Gallardo more than the facelift LP model, which I have to admit looked better. However, the Mark I Gallardo Superleggera will go down as one of the greatest sounding cars I've ever heard, period. And finally, onto the last best sounding 10-cylinder engined car, and this goes to the Porsche Carrera GT. Of course, I had to end this part with probably one of the most iconic modern classic cars, one with a checkered history, but one with one of the most glorious engine soundtracks to date. The Porsche Carrera GT has a naturally aspirated 5.7 litre V10 that generates 604 brake horsepower. This allows the car to go from 0 to 60 in just 3.7 seconds before going on to a top speed of 206 miles per hour. Wow, this car is phenomenal. It just goes as fast as it looks. It's a very stunning car, and of course we have to talk about that noise. The V10 in the Carrera GT absolutely screams and sings away. It certainly reaches those high pitches and sounds wonderful doing it. I'm in awe that they were able to use a decommissioned F1 engine and put it in this. This car with that soundtrack is simply sensational. What a car, what a sound. So in conclusion, those are my picks of what I think are some of the best sounding 10-cylinder engine cars, but what do you think? If you want to participate, please comment down below your picks and give your reasons why. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!